Guardian?
Eyesupsaf.
Eyes up, Guardians. We got another build for you today. And as a Warlock main, I was really, really dreading playing on my Titan and making a Titan build. So, you know what? For all you Titan mains in the comments, I'm ready. I'm ready for you. But the gameplay that you guys are watching right now is from the Fireteam Ops matchmaking, which we all know is -40 Delta. So it's not super easy content, but it's also not super difficult content. And as I'm learning the ropes with playing Titan for the first time in 2 years, I figured this would be a great way to start. I will say this though, okay? I'm just going to point this out. As a Warlock main, I embraced my inner Warlock with my first Titan build, and I said, screw it. We're going to stand behind a barricade and just shoot things the same way I would stand in a rift and just shoot things with my Warlock. So for all of you punchy boys out there, I'm sorry. There's not a lot of punching going on in this one. But survivability-wise, damage-wise, especially right now since Bungie put the modifier on where special weapons do double damage, in this particular build, we're using 2 special weapons. It's amazing. So I just want to point that out. But either way, in the gameplay, you guys can see that, I mean, we're just absolutely destroying enemies. We're just wrecking through the content. Now, I did make the mistake of not coming into the gameplay with unstoppable guns, so I had to rely on my teammates on that side. But even if I didn't have unstoppable, I mean, we're doing pretty good damage to champion target that has damage reduction, which is still pretty good. But either way, putting all that aside, let's get right into the build. So we're going to be rocking the Void subclass with our Titan here. We're going to be using Twilight Arsenal. I love this super, by the way, on Titans. Titans, you guys get all the fun stuff, man. What the hell? But Twilight Arsenal is super fun. You get to throw down these Void Axes, and then you get to pick up the Void Axes and throw them again. It's just kind of cool. We are running Rally Barricade because we do like to go behind our barricade. Gives us an overshield when we use it. Strafe Lift is really fun. I tried Catapult Lift, so if you guys are like new to Titan and you want to use a jump, don't use Catapult Lift. It's really weird. Strafe Lift is really, really good and easy to use though. We are using Shield Throw just because we are kind of staying further back from most of the enemies, so I didn't really want to use Shield Bash, so Shield Throw works really well. And then for grenades, it's really up to you. I'm used to running Vortex Grenade on Warlock a lot, but I think it's Scatter Grenade you can get back quicker. So since we're really using our grenade more so just to weaken targets in this build, I'd probably go with Scatter Grenade, but I was testing out Vortex, which is why it's here in the build right now. All right, so for our aspects, we're using Controlled Demolition. So hitting a target with any Void ability or Volatile Explosion makes them volatile. We're also using Bastion. So when we cast our super, we give our allies an overshield, which is really cool. But every time we cast our Barricade, we also get an overshield for us and our allies. And then that overshield regenerates as long as we're behind our barricade or near our barricade. So I like having Bastion just for extra survivability. For our fragments, we are running Echo of Persistence, so Void buffs have a longer duration. We're mainly using this for the Overshield and Devour because we don't have any way to go invisible with this build. Next, we're using Echo of Undermining, so our Void grenades weaken targets. That's where the spam ability of your Void grenade comes into play. Then we are running Echo of Starvation, so picking up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power grants Devour. And Devour is extremely strong, as you guys know, so as long as we continue to chain kills, which we do a lot, we just regen health. And then we're running Echo of Harvest, so defeating a weakened target creates an Orb of Power and a Breach. It's just another way for us to get an Orb of Power or a Void Breach, so you guys can run this if you want to. This is interchangeable though. It's not necessary because we're creating quite a bit of Orb of Powers with our weapons as well as our abilities. Now, this is where the build truly shines. Our exotic of choice here is Actium War Rig. So Actium War Rig allows us to not have to reload our auto rifle or machine guns. So Actium War Rig is really, really good. We're pairing that with the Choir of One. Now, I didn't play during the season where Choir of One was released. So any chance that I got to use this weapon, I wanted to take that opportunity. And it felt like Titan was the perfect fit for it. So Choir of One hits like a truck. This thing just decimates, and it's a seasonal weapon, so you get the increased damage boost from it. You could take it into a Vanguard missions or whatever you want. Choir of One's just outstanding. We are running it with destabilizing rounds, so you know that's just really good for Void build. in general. We're also running Mint Retrograde. Like I said, special weapons right now are doing double damage because of Bungie's generosity. So taking advantage of that is huge. And we never run out of ammo with this build, by the way. And then for your heavy weapon, I was only using this sword for farming missions, so that way I can move around a lot faster. But typically I would run Hammerhead with Rampage and Desperate Measures, which is the one that I have, just to lean into the Void a little bit more. But you can pretty much use whatever kind of machine gun you want with this build. You can also use Unwavering Duty, which is something that I was using as well with 4 times the charm and Onslaught, or 4 times the charm with Burning Ambition. The one with Burning Ambition can help with unstops if you don't have like an unstop gun that you're running with this build. So that's completely up to you. Technically, you don't need Mint Retrograde, so you could run something like a rocket-assisted sidearm if you want to take care of unstoppable champions, because your volatile rounds to your weapons already proc anti-barrier. So you don't necessarily need Mint Retrograde, but Mint Retrograde and Choir of One both hit like trucks. So I just decided to run both of these. Okay, so going into our artifact, there's only a few artifact mods that really help with this particular build. Refresh Threads and Elemental Coalescence being the main two. So Refresh Threads allows us to pick up those Void Breaches and then grants us energy to our least charged ability. And then Elemental Coalescence helps us to create those elemental pickups that match our super. So we're going to make Void Breaches. Then we use Shield Crush because as we get Void Overshield, we get increased melee recharge. And then we're also using Elemental Overdrive. Now this is a huge one because this stacks with everything. So by picking up the Elemental Pickup, which is our Void Breach, we get increased damage to our Void weapons. So it makes our Choir of One just hit even harder. Now, going into our stats, the main stat that you want to go for here is your weapon stat. I wish I could have capped this out at 200 so I didn't have to use any font mods, but I don't have that. So this is the main reason here that we're able to never run out of ammo, because we do get the large ammo brick chance at 80%. And we also create a ton of special and heavy ammo in this particular build. We do have our class sitting at 50. I would really like to get our class to 70, but since this is my first time playing my Titan all season, I don't really have the best gear, which is why I'm kind of farming for gear at the moment, so I can get better stat distribution. Super doesn't really matter too much, but ultimately you would want to get this anywhere between 50 to 70 if you can. 90 grenade is huge. We want to get our grenade back as quickly as we possibly can to keep reapplying that weaken effect. And then our melee right now is sitting at 39, but if I could get this to 70 as well, I would be even more happier. And then health stat really doesn't matter. Now for our helmet, we are running double special ammo finder, so that way we can lean into using the double special, as well as a harmonic siphon. Since we are going to be killing most things with our Choir of One, we want to make sure that we can create those orbs of power. In our arms, we are running firepower, so our grenade final blows also have a chance to create an orb of power. When we pick up that orb of power, we're using the grenade font to push our grenade stat over 100 so we can get the max recharge. And then we are doing bolstering detonation here. So it grants class ability energy when we cause damage with our grenade, which just kind of helps us lean into getting this class ability back faster so we can continue to pop overshields and have that survivability. For our chest piece, we are running double void ammo generation. Since again, we're getting most of our kills with Choir of One, you can run both of these if you want to. If you feel like you need more resist mods, you're more than okay with dropping this down to 1 and then just putting on a resist mod that makes sense for the content that you're running. And then for our boots, we are running Innervation, so it reduces our grenade cooldown when we pick up an orb of power. We do have the 1 weapon font, so that way we can max it out to 200. And then we're also running a Void Weapon Surge. So we're maxing it out to 200, and then we're getting the Void Damage boost on top of that from the Void Weapon Surge. The reason that I really wanted to get to 200 weapon stat here without using the weapons font is because I would love to use triple or double Void Weapon Surge just to make the Choir of One hit even harder. But unfortunately, with the current gear that we have, we can't do that. And then for our class item, we are running Time Dilation, Powerful Attraction, and Bomber. You can switch Bomber out for Outreach if you want to, so that way you can get your melee cooldown reduced a little bit further, but I'm really leaning into the grenades in this build, so I like having Bomber just to make sure I always have my grenade up when I need it. And I mean, that's pretty much the build. And just so you guys know, We are working on a few other builds over here on the side, but I will be bringing some more Warlock builds as well because I have some stuff that I really want to test out. But man, this one's a really fun one. So if you guys enjoyed this build, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you guys are not following us over on Twitch, please do. The link is in the description below. I appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing. We've made it to 300 subscribers and we just started this channel about a month ago. So you guys are just absolutely phenomenal. I love the love that you guys show in the comments, all the suggestions that you guys put in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.